Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is LAB5. Okay, today I will present about computer interfacing for LAB5 Android Studio interfacing. Okay, so my part will be the Android Studio and Firebase. So in the part A, we need to setting up the Android project. So we just follow the all of the procedure, and we have setting up the Firebase. So the Firebase will be same like this. Okay, so this is our Firebase that we have built. Okay, so firstly we need to copy the URL. First thing first, this, where is it? Okay, this is the URL. We need to use it, so then we can use it in the Android Studio, and also in the Arduino IDE. Okay, and then we also need to copy the web API key for the Arduino use also. Okay, so then after that, okay, after we connect the Arduino with the Firebase, we need to edit. Okay, replace with your Firebase database URL in here. Okay, so we have edited in the Google service.json file. So then we need to design the Android apps. So over here we have designed it. So we have designed. Okay, and this is the coding that we use. Text view, we use button. Okay. So, and we function it all of this with in the main activity Java. So over here, okay, we have used the click button. So then we use the button on and button off. So then the button in the interface will be can be used. Okay, so over here there is a string, the LED value 1. Okay, text view LED value 1. Okay, and also for the LED 2, because we use two output, okay, LED 1 and LED 2. So then, okay, so then over here for the on click listener, okay, for the clicker button. So here is the code. Okay, so this is the string. Okay, after we design it, we copy the code and paste it into the Android Studio that just I explained before this. So then after we got all of this finished, we're going to the part B. That's for the ESP32, 8268 and Firebase. That's why my partner will be presented.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Fida Bijamuddin, and for my task that given to me, I will explain a little bit about part B, which is the ESP32 or 8266 and the Firebase. Okay, on this part, Arduino IDE will be used to set up the ESP8266, not MCU board. So the first thing is we need to setting up our ESP8266 board. So basically we just open our Arduino IDE, and then we just follow the procedure that given to us. And basically we need to setting the board. We need to setting on the board manager. So after we setting it, we need to install the Arduino JSON library. So basically this library is much needed to running the ESP smoothly without getting any errors. So moving on to the next task. Okay, on the task 3, we need to install another one, which is the Firebase library. After we setting the Firebase that my partner have already mentioned just now, so we need to install the library on the Arduino IDE. And then on the task 4, which is we need to program the ESP board. Okay, on this part we need to replace the SSID, which is our Wi-Fi SSID name, and then we need to replace with the password of our Wi-Fi, and then we need to replace with our Firebase database URL that my partner have already mentioned just now on the Firebase website. and then we need to replace with our Firebase project API key. And then we just copy this code, copy all this code into the Arduino IDE, and then we just we just verify and we upload the code, and then we can already test using our application that we have created on Android Studio. Okay, that's for the part B. And then we're moving on to the last part, which is the part C. In this part, we need to adding more features on ESP8266 and Android Studio. So basically, on this part, our group added another LED, which is we define it as a LED2. And then what we're going to do is that we need to modify a little bit on the Arduino IDE code. So can you open the Arduino IDE? Okay, as I mentioned just now, we need to insert our network credentials, which is our Wi-Fi password, the Wi-Fi ID, and also Wi-Fi password. And then we need to insert our Firebase project API, and then we need to put our URL for the database URL. Okay, after we put the database URL that we got from the Firebase website, and then we need to define our port, which is on the LED1. We define it on 2 because the port on the ESP is D2, and define LED2, which is 4 because the port on the ESP on LED2 is D4. And then we moving on to the next code. Okay, for the integer, we initialize its value for LED1, which is 0, and then for the LED2 also we initialize it as 0 at first. And then we moving on the on the part with port setup. Okay, on this part, on the P mode LED1, we just define it as our output. And then this to right LED1, which we setting up it's on low because the output doesn't blink up yet. And then same goes to the LED2. And then we moving on the this part of the code. Okay, on this part we can see the if statement. Okay, you scroll down a bit. Okay, this is the if statement for the LED1. So basically, when we click the button that we setting up on the Android Studio, we setting the LED will be turned on. This is for the LED1 part, and then I just copy this part of the code again, and then I put it back for the LED2. So I just adjust a little bit and modify a little bit, which is the ID of the LED2 and so on. And then that's all after I have already modified it. So we moving on to the Android Studio. Can you open the lab? So basically on the task 2 on part C, which is we need to adding input on Android Studio apps. So basically what we did in this part, we just modify a little bit on Android Studio. Okay, can you open Android Studio? Okay, on this part we can see that we got 4 buttons over here. We got the LED1 on, LED1 off, and LED2 on and LED2 off. So basically what we do, we just added another 2 buttons for LED2. So after we put this on this layout, we just setting on the main activity, and then we can run it without getting any errors. So basically my group partner will demonstrate the circuit that we done.
Okay, so now I will demonstrate the circuit. Okay, so when I click the LED1 on, so the LED1, which is the red one, will be on. So the LED1 is connected to D2, to port D2. So and then turn off. Okay, and then I will turn on the LED2. Okay, so you can show there. Okay, so the LED2 I'll connect to the buzzer. So both of them will be layout. So the LED2 is connected to D4. So this is our circuit. Thank you.